your work today, like it has become for the larger world, that the GPTs and the APIification of the modeling, have you guys also gone down that path, or you guys still prefer developing your own proprietary models? And like, how is it? How that aspect has changed?
Yes, yes. So first of all, we have been developing our own models. Generally, they're not proprietary because our aim is to open source. Everything we do is for social good. So our aim is to open source what we do.
Yeah.
But in the LLM space, it doesn't make sense to develop our own model. So first of all, we uh, we are a very applied institute. Our aim is not to develop foundation models of our own. And so we end up leveraging open source models. We end up fine tuning them, but we do end up doing a lot of fine tuning. So mostly you can't use these models out of the box because they are trained on very generic data sets. You almost always have to fine tune them on task specific data sets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we do quite a bit of work using foundation models. We do both language. For example, we build chatbots for these ASHA workers that I mentioned, as well as other health workers, in order to improve their sort of knowledge and skills. We also build similar chatbots for agriculture extension workers,
Hmm.
and we are in the process of building a small language model for agriculture as well. So we do, but these have a base foundation model, base open
Hmm.
source foundation model, which could be Llama or could be one of the other open source models, and then we iterate on that and fine tune. But
Yeah.
I do agree that this, sort of those of us who came from the BC era, the before ChatGPT era, it's been quite a roller coaster ride,
Yeah.
going through the transformation of AI and the way it's been commoditized. It's been an interesting phenomenon to say the least.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Arpan. And from a deployment point of view, Arpan, right? A lot of times, while these ASHA workers have very good end devices, but these are again not top of the line mobiles, right?
No,
And
they're not.
stuff. So, from a deployment point of view, does the model size and all those kind of constraints also come in,
Yes.
limiting your choices? And then how is your team going about this whole piece?
Absolutely. So often, for the work that we do, most of our impact will happen in rural areas. And areas across the global south, you don't have internet access. You cannot rely on internet access. So we often have to compress models to make sure that they fit on the devices used by the people who will use them. We make sure also to collect training data using devices like them. We don't collect training data on high-end devices at all.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, just as an example, the project that I just mentioned, one easy way to get rid of the reference object, namely the ruler, would be to use phones with lidar, so that you get depth estimation for free, right?
Yes.
But those tend to be very expensive phones. So
Yeah.
our route, if we had to solve that problem, like let's say somebody were to come up with a constraint and say, look, you can't use a reference object,
Yeah.
then our way around it might be that we would purchase some phones with lidar for creating machine learning models to train on depth. So
Hmm.
essentially, you use the lidar phones to create ground truthing for depth, and then
Got it.
you infer depth, and then do your sort of other main task. So
Fantastic.
we always have to think of things like that. We have to make sure that we work backwards from deployment. I think this is important in any applied scenario, whether you're doing AI for the internet, whether you're doing AI for clinical health, whether you're
Correct.
doing AI for you must work backwards from deployment. And that's why I think it's a bit strange when people start collecting gold standard data sets that are just, that are not specific to a problem, because AI doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's fine for publishing papers, but it's not fine for applications.